Vanessa? Vanessa? Vanessa, can you hear me?
Vanessa, honey, how are you feeling?
Ms. Prathab, the surgery ended up being more complicated than originally expected.
What happened?
Well, we had to switch to an open surgery in order to remove the duplicated duodenal cysts.
Days continued on, and I lost track of time. There was just a continuous pattern of daytime and darkness, doctor's visits, watching TV, and taking walks. The numbers on the clock had no meaning. I became accustomed to the constant monotonous beeping of the IV monitor every night, which became the lullaby that put me to sleep. My hope continued to fade away. I would gaze out past the window as if there was a different world that I could never reach. At first, I longed to eat and drink, but even that longing disappeared, and the only thing I wished for was to go home. I wanted to eat my mother's homemade cooking, sleep on my soft bed, breathe the fresh air outside past the confinements of the building. All these simple things that had seemed so insignificant before became something so valuable to me now. Everything hurt. It hurt to walk, to sit, even to breathe. Everything coincided with pain. Still, the doctors encouraged me to walk around the floor as much as I could. But as soon as I left my room, an even greater horror awaited me. All this time, I thought my suffering was the worst, but only then I began to see the world with new eyes. There were children younger than me who were limping, in wheelchairs, and in critical conditions. The only thing I hated more than feeling pain was seeing the pain of other people. But through all the hardships, I ended up making friends with many children, each going through their own different problems, and we reached out to each other. One girl, named Emily, had hip surgery. Emily was my first roommate out of the many that would follow. She was older than me, about 22. I don't remember much conversation other than brief greetings, but her presence in the room was still soothing. There was some calming feeling to know that I was not alone. I remember being half asleep and scribbling a letter to her one day when she was leaving. I don't remember clearly what I wrote, or if it could even be read coherently, but after a few days, a gift came from Emily. She sent me a white beaded Alex and Ani bracelet. On it was written, "Infused with positive energy." A small note was taped to the box.
Dear Vanessa, thank you for the sweet card you wrote to me. You're an amazing person. I wish you a speedy recovery, and along the way, here is some positive energy. Be happy and stay strong. Love, Emily.
To this day, when I have a bad day or I'm not feeling well, I'll slip on the bracelet and it will magically brighten my mood. Maybe there really is some type of positive energy infused inside the bracelet. Or maybe it's the positive memories that the bracelet reminds me of. A few days later, I met Katie in the art room. Katie was around 7 years old. She was born with only one ear, so she had undergone surgery to get a prosthetic ear. But unlike most of the patients in the hospital, Katie was always smiling. She was so positive and optimistic, and she spread her cheerfulness onto everyone around her.
Look. Oh, wow, it's beautiful.
Katie taught me that happiness is contagious and that it doesn't come from something big, but rather it's the sight of a simple smile that you create on another person's face.
You got it, Vanessa. Good job.
I met David in the garden one sunny afternoon. David was around 12 years old and had spine misalignment. He was going to have surgery soon, but before that, he needed to have some preparations done. There was a 40-pound weight strapped around his head in a painful position, and the weight constantly pulled his head up, trying to stretch apart his spine. He was always sitting and sleeping in the wheelchair in that same painful position. I noticed that even though he would smile slightly on the outside, he still held this indescribable amount of sadness in his heart that only I could see. I wondered, was he envying the children riding their bikes, or was he looking further out into the distance past the confinements of the hospital like I do? Should I talk to him, or would he ignore me?
So how's David?
He's doing fine. His surgery's coming up soon.
When?
Next Tuesday.
Oh, okay. I hope that goes well. Oh, wait. Hey, look.
Hey Dave, look at the helicopter.
Vanessa, look.
But I didn't look. I felt that if he wasn't able to see it, then I had no right to enjoy it without him.
I know that it's hard, but it's gonna be okay.
The same thing Emily had told me and made me feel a bit better.
Thank you. I hope so too.
Hope. It was strange that even though there were difficult times, we all still continued to hold on to the hope that tomorrow would somehow be better than today. Hope was the most powerful thing we all held, because it allowed us to forget the pain of the past and keep moving forward. One by one, my roommates left me, sent home. I was happy for them, but I also wondered when my chance would come. I could spend countless times envisioning the day when the doctor would stride into my room and deliver the news. The video played over and over again in my mind until I had tweaked it to perfection.
Vanessa, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good!
That's wonderful! We checked everything out. You're all healthy and you're ready to go.
Oh my gosh, I'm healthy and ready to go! Yay!
Now all I had to do was wait for the day to actually play out. The doctors released me 15 days later. It's weird when you expect something so much and it finally happens, you don't know how to react. I left my room, I left floor 10, and finally I left the building, into the outside world, breathing in the air that I'd always been longing to breathe. It wasn't as pleasant as I imagined it to be. Soon things returned back to normal. But every day I still think about the hospital, the other children there, the people I met, the friends I made. I wonder if they are able to smile now. In the hospital, I met compassionate and amazing people that I never would have the chance to meet anywhere else. They taught me the beauty of life in 15 days, whereas other people struggle to find that beauty and meaning their entire lives. If I had the power to change the past, I would not. Because every one of my experiences is important to shaping the person I am today. Every experience in life has a purpose. With this experience, I learned how to create meaning out of pain. I learned beauty and happiness and friendships and empathy and courage and hope. I believe this path that I took was a more meaningful path than any other in understanding both the world and myself. I learned that although no one has the power to control fate, we all still have the power to control our reactions. And our reactions, especially to those downs in life, are what make us stronger.